Hello, my name is Dean Contover, and this is The Current Buzz. Today we have Steve Murray from Chelmsford High School. He's the principal at Chelmsford High School, which is in North Chelmsford. I was looking up the...
01863.
63. On the website, it says 01824, though.
It does. It keeps going back. I don't know why. It's always been 63.
It's always 63. So if anybody wants to know, it's in North Chelmsford, right? I mean, how many students do you have in the school, and how many teachers do you have in Chelmsford High School?
So we have about 1,420 students. We've been going down the last few years.
Okay.
And about teachers, we're probably about 120 teachers. So, and then with support staff, we're about 200.
Are there any turnovers at Chelmsford High School in regards to teachers? And I love teachers at Chelmsford High School.
It hasn't. My first year, yes. In the last few years, not so much.
That's good.
I had 2 retirements last year, definitely one this year, maybe 2. So it hasn't been much. It's a nice mix right now. It's a great mix of veteran, middle, and new.
Yeah. The mascot of Chelmsford High School?
Lions. You gotta love it.
Yeah. You're not changing the name or anything like that?
No, we love it. It suits us well.
Okay. I just want to make sure, I mean, because...
I want to make headlines, I'll do it, but...
Because in Lowell, they're talking about changing the name.
That's tough. That's a really...
Red Raiders. And
that's really sticky.
Speaking of the Red Raiders, how many years have you been principal at the high school?
This is my 5th year.
This is my 5th year. Same time as the superintendent.
Yes, we both came in together. About a month apart.
Good. You get along with him?
He's great.
He's a great guy.
Dr. Lang's a great guy. He's great heart. He has been so creative with the budget, and what I really valued about him, both as a resident of Chelmsford, is that he's created so much in this town, but without asking the town for more money. He's done it within his existing budget, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he even got you a new van, right? I mean, that's wonderful. Amazing. He's got you one van so far. You're probably going to get a second.
We will if we can show that there's a savings, which we already have.
No doubt.
Then we'll get some more, because right now, we have smaller groups. When they want to take a bus, they're paying about $280, give or take, just for the charter itself. And
then you have to pay for the driver.
Exactly, and if it's a long event, you're there all day. The driver stays, and so we have this bus, and where teachers can drive because it's 14 and under. Hopefully, we pay for the gas and upkeep and maintenance, and we save on those charter fees.
Who would take care of the maintenance? Think of the maintenance.
We would go through our DPW, and so there's a problem.
Well, it's a brand new vehicle, so it's wonderful. It's not going to be maintenance for a while.
But you want to stay. You want regular maintenance.
Changing and so forth.
Oil and all that kind of stuff.
So you have a new football coach. Tell me about him.
George Peterson is great.
I'd like to get him on the show, by the way.
I will talk to him. He said he'd love that.
Oh, okay.
I just tell you, he's been wonderful. So he's come from Lexington. He turned that system around, and it's him. It's not. And I like this. It's not about the wins and losses. It's about what the kids are doing and what they're learning and what they're getting from it. And he said if they're learning skills and they're focused and they're working together as a team, the wins will come along. And so he and his coaches have been so dedicated. They've been staffing.
Is it a whole new crew of coaches?
For the most part, there's kind of a mix, but the most part he's brought in his own crew, which is great. You did head coach. You have the right to do that. And we got we have a brand new weight room. The kids are in the weight room.
Oh, is that right?
He has other teams, girls teams coming in using the weight room in the summertime, and he's getting kids really focused on what it means to be an athlete and how to keep yourself healthy and because the more you're healthy and the more in shape you are.
Nutrition too?
Nutrition is wonderful. I mean, he's got the whole deal, and he's really he looks the part. All his coaches dress the same, and they're ready for game time, and it's just really a professional organization.
Organized.
Yeah, love it.
In other words, there's not kids hanging around. Everybody's doing something on that team.
Yeah, and so I was talking to some of the kids about 3 weeks ago, asking them what they like. These are some of our seniors,
right?
And one of them was saying, Principal Murray, what I love is that not only is he telling us what we're doing, but he's telling us why we're doing it, and then he shows us.
Wow,
that's important because
I think that's very important.
Why you're doing it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think when I was in school, I don't think any teachers told us why we were doing something, why we were doing math, or why we were doing history. Maybe that's something for the future.
Well, when am I going to need this? Or why? Well, we'll tell you when.
I wanted to talk to you about the big thing that's happening in society. It's called vaping.
Oof. Yeah.
Okay, tell me what's happening at the high school. Are there kids vaping? Or you want to admit to that? Or
yes, we definitely have that. Although it isn't as bad this year as it was last year.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know if that's because of the recent media or not. I know that I meet with once every 3 months with area principals. So there's a group of 25 of us, and maybe 12 of us get together, and it's an ongoing issue for all our schools. And so 'cause a lot of kids found it safer vaping because it doesn't have the cigarette, that smoke, that smell.
Yeah, but I think that's a myth. They're saying it's better to vape than it is smoke, but there's no scientific proof of that.
Correct, and there hasn't been a lot of proof on vaping, the safety of it.
Yeah,
anyhow. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, ironically, we're having this upcoming Tuesday, the middle schools and the high school, a gentleman, I think is John Morello. Morello's the last name for sure. He's coming to talk to kids. We booked this back in the spring, talk to kids about vaping, the dangers of vaping, and it's actually very timely.
Now, where's this guy from?
So he goes around, he talks to different schools. I forget his exact background, but we got him through Amanda Glazer. She's the health educator in town. She works half for the town, half for the schools.
I see.
And she looks out for these kind of enrichment activities that are pertinent to today's kids. And so he's found this gentleman from some other schools. They raved about him. He got the message out there to kids, not in a preachy way, but in a way they could hear it and understand it as opposed to being lectured. So he's coming next week for Parker will be there in the morning at the PAC.
Okay.
Mine kids are doing the afternoon, freshmen the first assembly, freshmen and sophomores, juniors and seniors are afterwards. And with all the stuff in the news now about, I guess it was a 17th death was in Oklahoma last night, they said, from vaping-related illnesses. It's very timely.
You know, I'm going to tell you a little family history. My dad died of lung cancer from smoking. And he stopped smoking in the last 15 years, but he still had lung cancer. And I said to the person in regards to the governor, right, Governor Baker banning it for I said, I wish somebody did that 100 years ago and banned it for 4 months or 6 months or a year to see where we're at in smoking 100 years ago. Maybe he'd still be alive. Well, he wouldn't be still alive because of his age, but still, I mean, it's
quality would be better.
Yeah, the quality of life would have been better. So, I mean, maybe that's a good thing he's doing. I know he's getting beat up by it, but I have a different philosophy because I lived through it.
Yeah.
You know,
totally. You're right. When you live through it, you see it firsthand. It has a big impact.
Yeah. So, what are you doing about vaping? What's the policy?
So we did a couple things. So one, we're in the process of. I'll tell you that in a second. But what we do is in our vaping, in our handbook, we have vaping. So if you get caught with vaping materials on you, and so it's a 5-day out of school suspension.
Oh, well, automatically.
But we've changed it this year. We met together with our Amanda Glazer. We talked with our health educators. The deans have been wonderful on this, and Detective Tyros, our resource officer. What we did is we're changing this for vaping as well as for drugs and alcohol. We're going to give a consequence, but we're offering kids and parents the opportunity. We will lessen the suspension if you agree to go to our education program. So what happens is, so let's say I get caught. I get a 5-day out of school suspension. We'll reduce that to 2 or 3 days if you attend 4 weekly sessions on vaping. So what
Where
it is
would that be in
our school?
Okay.
And so 1 week you meet with the guidance counselor to talk about why you're doing this, et cetera.
Right.
Our clinical psychologist, our health educator for the town, Amanda Glazer, and our SRO to talk about the legal aspects. And there's articles that we're constantly changing and keeping us up to date about vaping, what it does to you. And so each week they have to meet with a different professional in our building.
Well, that's cool.
Educational piece.
Yeah.
We're hoping to change behaviors by education, not just by the stick.
Yeah.
And kind of a blend. The other one is there's some programs or devices you can put into various areas. They look like a smoke detector that can detect vaping.
Okay.
And one of it's a company called FlySense. Now, FlySense, there's a lot of schools are using it. Georgetown was one of the first ones in the area.
Okay.
And
Georgetown High School.
Yeah,
Georgetown, Mass.
Georgetown High School, correct. Georgetown High School in Mass.
Yeah.
They put it, and there's this hardwired in, and it looks like a smoke detector, and it'll tell you if vape happens. I'm working with another gentleman in town with a startup company. He lives in town, and his device is going to be slightly different. It's going to be the same size, but it'll tell you that it's vaping, but it'll tell you what kind of vapor.
Wow.
Whether it's THC, nicotine, or something else. Where the other one just tells you the water molecules are in the air vapor.
Right.
This one will tell you what, and then it'll just like both, it'll hit your phone and tell you where your alarm's going off. So it could be a silent alarm, or it could be a loud alarm. And then this one, the difference the company I'm going through is it's Wi-Fi, so I can move it around. It doesn't have to be fixed. So if one area is a hot spot, so to speak, where kids are in, and that area is up, I can move it to another spot if the kids move. So it's a prototype. We're going to be working with the gentleman in a month or so to come in and see if we get a test drive and see how it works. We just want to keep our kids safe.
No, that's good. I mean, because you could easily put a molecule in that for THC, and you wouldn't even know it. I mean,
no, we
and
don't.
They could be in school and.
Yes, because I think when you and I grew up, you know the smell of marijuana, you know the smell of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Vape, you don't smell it, and unless it's fruit and all that kind of stuff. But this way, hopefully this detector will tell us what we're looking.
Well, I was looking online, and I don't know if you know this, but I told the superintendent of schools because I had him on the show. Juul, which is the company, was worth 5 years ago was worth $15 million. Last year, Philip Morris, the subsidiary of the company, bought into the company for 35% for $12.8 billion.
Holy smoke, it's a big industry.
So it's a big industry, and they know what they're doing. If they're going to buy 35% of the...
Philip Morris is getting involved. They're getting involved.
That's right.
There's an avenue.
And they know in regards to the kids and so forth.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
$12 billion.
12.8, yeah.
For 35%.
Just for 35% of the company.
Holy smoke.
Yeah, so...
the lawsuits will be a lot. So
yeah, that's true. That's another... against the government.
That'll be coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there are people that are going to go. But I don't want to talk about that.
No,
you know, I mean, we can go on and on. Laptops given to the ninth graders. Yeah. What's happening there?
So this is wonderful. Bill Silver has done just a phenomenal job of increasing the kids' access to online information and research. And he did this one-to-one initiative where all the ninth graders and fifth get a Chromebook. And I tell you, now the kids, because our constant fight is booking out a computer room. Or who's going to get the computer cart. Now these kids have it. We don't have to. So now these carts can go elsewhere. And these kids, now that we're moving to a Google Classroom, they can work on group work remotely. You don't have to come together. And I know that's a pain for parents and schedules to get kids together for group work.
Right.
They can edit material online, real time. They have access to different programs and things online that can help them with their education. And I think it's a lot of schools are going this direction. And Bill's done a wonderful job making this possible. He had a year-long focus group of all different of the middle school and high school.
And I know the fifth graders have it. So next year it'll be freshman and sophomore.
In grades 5 and 6.
I shouldn't say freshmen anymore. I have to say first year students.
Exactly, And then in 4 years, all 5 through 12.
Right.
It's huge. He's done a remarkable job.
So they don't have to go out and buy a computer in Apple or anything like that?
No. And then every 4 years we recycle and get the new ones in, and it's great. I mean,
I think it's great. I think it's great. Especially everything's done by computer, that people shop by computer, and you know.
And one of the things we were telling our teachers is
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Yeah. Our teachers that a lot of kids now, when they go to colleges, everything has to be submitted online.
That's correct.
Paper, and so they use the Blackboard, and so we need to get our kids ready for that.
Right.
And I think this is one way which we can do that. And as you said, everything's done on the computer nowadays. And
definitely.
Even whether you go to college or not, this is a skill you need.
It's. If you pay by check, it's like that's about 20% of the people pay by check, tuition or something like that.
Old art.
Yeah, exactly. But still, what do you do with cell phones in class? Is there anything in that realm? Or?
So what we did is we told the teachers, listen, we're going to leave it up to you, and if you want. And so the teachers determined, and we did kind of a red, yellow, green light last year, where green light means you can use it as long as it's appropriate. Yellow, it's a teacher-directed. Red, you can't. So basically, the teachers, hey, if the kids can use it, let's use it. So for instance, I know that if you buy a graphing calculator, that's about $130.
That's right.
A lot of smartphones have it on there.
Is that right?
So if you can save parents and kids money, then let's do that.
Yeah.
And for the most part, kids are very good about it. They really have been in the classroom.
Yeah.
We've asked, and then some teachers, when they don't want to use it, they have a shoe tree in their room. They put the phone in the tree.
Like a little basket or
something.
Exactly,
which is great. So I love the fact that teachers have the
flexibility.
Flexibility.
That's
important.
That's true. What's going to happen with the front parking lot? You may get money appropriated this fall from town meeting. What's the plans for them? Because there's buses coming in one way, parents coming in one way. So what's the plan if you get the money?
If we get the money, so our campus was not really made for all these cars that come in. We've only had those entrances.
You know why the cars come in? Because parents have to pay for buses.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's $200, I think it is.
Yeah, for one. That's for one, right?
Yes.
So it's easier for them to drop them off in the morning, go to work or whatever, and the grandparents pick them up, or the relatives pick them up in the evening. I mean,
exactly, and a lot of traffic, congestion. So we're going to meet with Gary Persichetti if this goes through, and we're going to look at the front and see how we can redesign it. A couple of things I'm looking at. I definitely need some parking for my cafeteria workers because they don't have any parking. They park on the edge on the side.
Oh, yeah, that's not
I
good.
need more visitor parking because I do not have a lot. And then we want to see if we can design the front in a manner that we can separate the buses and the cars. So right now when a bus unloads or loads, you have to stop by state law. But if we can put a hard island and let cars continue to travel and there's a nice safe barrier between the two, then maybe we can do that. So that's one of the things I want to look at with Gary, as a way we can reconfigure the front so we can have both groups, parents and buses, do what they have to do without crossing each other.
Don't include Chelmsford police officer or the traffic officer.
Definitely.
Because,
we always do.
Yeah,
have
exactly. Because
they have great insight.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. So that would be interesting. I'd like to look at that design.
I would like to too. So I'm really excited about the possibility of that. And
I noticed they put some telephone poles up in front of the.
Yes.
Let's talk about that real quick.
So what we did
explain.
So we have almost like a project adventure ropes course, and so. And there's some low elements which we have in the woods where it's kind of climbing of walls and there's kind of a balance beam. Then these are high elements, are the telephone poles. And so originally they were going to put it in the woods right offside the doors of Emerson House, going where the new alumni building might go.
Right.
We met over the summer with our fire department, and one of the things they said is they didn't want to put it there because if someone gets stuck in the upper element, they need their bucket truck to be able to get up there and bring a kid down. If we put it in the woods, there's too much for them to go if they couldn't get in the woods.
Oh.
So that area wasn't being used.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Smart.
They've just installed it and they used it yesterday for the first time.
Oh, is that right? No
It was
kidding.
excellent. I missed it, and they plan to do it today, but there's supposed to be some rain coming in.
Yeah.
The last block of the day, I'm going to go out there and see it. It's a great skill building where you have to learn teamwork, strategy. It's challenging. We used to have it at McCarthy when I was there, and they still do. McCarthy.
And they have it at the Parker Middle
Parker
School
as well.
too. Yeah.
So I think it's a phenomenal program, and I really thanks to Katie Sims who's our health and gym director, curriculum coordinator, for making this happen.
So you're going to have golf frisbee too? Is that?
Yeah, that is the new big thing. It's awesome. So we're going to have 9 holes at McCarthy, 9 holes at Chelmsford High School, and it's just like golf in the front.
But you're not going to ruin the javelin area.
No. Yeah, they'll be separate.
Yeah, okay, because that's where the javelin
throws. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just golf, but with the frisbee, and it's catching on. Colleges are doing it.
No kidding.
So I think we have a frisbee team, a club that's starting, and they're all excited. And so I know they met with plant and facilities to talk about how they're going to install them and when. And so I think in the spring it's going to get a lot of use.
You have a rugby team, a new rugby team.
Thank you, Dr. Parks and Mr. Hart.
Yeah, for last year was the first
year.
First year, they did pretty good.
They did, I'm so proud of them. And so this was something that Dan Hart, when he took over as athletic director, he wanted to bring on something different, something new.
I wish you had fencing at Chelmsford High School.
I just saw they do fencing in Acton. I drove by it. There's a fencing.
There's not too many public schools that do fencing. I think Concord, Carlisle, and Acton.
They do.
Those are the only
I didn't know
public
Acton
schools.
Did. I knew Concord, Carlisle.
Well, you said you just they have a fencing.
It's a what do you call it?
Yeah, fencing school.
School, exactly. I drove by off 27. I saw that.
Yeah, right. She owned the one in Bellrica, North Bellrica, and that one closed down, and she opened the fencing school.
So I'd like to do something like that. I'd also like to do maybe bowling.
Bowling?
Well, I know it's old school, but I think do bowling. Get a nice girls and boys team in there.
What about What about rowing? What about crew?
So that one, and that would be a big expense. So then we'd have to really budget that one out.
Well, somebody would have to donate the.
Exactly.
You could probably ask one of those colleges down there on Charles River to.
My nephews did that in Pennsylvania, but they were on the river, and that was part of it.
But there's a lot of scholarships in fencing and a lot of scholarships in crew.
And so I love that we're trying new things, and the rugby was a great start. And I give those kids credit. They went against teams that have been established for many years.
I know.
And they weren't shy. They worked hard, and they had some great results. So
good.
I look forward to the next season.
And I hope the football team's the same way, and they do well, too.
We're 1-2. We're doing well.
This is what I want to talk to you about. College credit's a big deal.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Second year, right?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lang. So currently we're working with a partnership with Middlesex Community College where kids can get dual enrollment. And if people don't know what dual enrollment is you can take courses at our school with teachers who are trained and you can get college credit for it. And it's a no-brainer.
Money.
Oh yeah, so they're going to pay about $300 for a class where you'd normally pay between $1,200 to $1,500.
Right.
And so far we have 12 classes that are approved by Middlesex Community College.
Now, where do they range from English to math and social studies?
Yeah, so we have
history?
a business, accounting, a marketing, early childhood, sociology, U.S. history, biotech, writing for college, and so Middlesex Community College has. I think 15 partnering high schools who do this
already.
We're the first one doing studio art. We just got that approved this year.
No kidding.
And so we're doing studio art, and so our goal is eventually a student to come into the building and graduate with a diploma and an associate's degree. And imagine the savings on that.
You're not kidding.
It's unbelievable, and the skills the kids are learning. And the beauty of this program, and Ellen Grandine is our liaison for Middlesex, that our teachers are getting professional development. They're adjunct professors at Middlesex. They have a mentor with a professor of the counterpart at the college.
I see.
We have full access to their research materials, and there's professional development together. It's a wonderful partnership.
Right. Oh. You dropped the parking fees, $200, no parking fees, anything for the kids. Your graduation rate is 96.4. Why would people drop out of school? What's there that you've got sort of 4% dropping out?
Yeah.
What's the parameters there?
So there's time. So what happens is before someone drops out, we've had at Chelmsford High School for 20 years or more, we have a night school. So we try night school with the kids. And so some of the situations are following. We had a student 2 years ago who couldn't do the day program because finances were such at home that she had to work and help pay the bills. And that happens sometimes. Other times some kids are making choices outside of school that aren't healthy. And so coming to school is not of interest to them because they're doing things that aren't healthy and aren't the best choices. And those are some of the kids we're trying to catch. So we're trying to bring them back in. We've moved our night school to more online learning. So instead of coming to the brick and mortar at the school, we're now having kids take through Edgenuity. It's a licensed program where they can take the same classes at a pacing with them that makes sense for them. And it's another way for a kid, if they can't get to the high school within the day or in the evening, they can do it at home. And so
some kids can't associate with groups. And
they can't. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes medically overwhelmed. And so if we can provide a different experience for them, one they can still get a rich experience curriculum-wise. We can work at that. And that was Dr. Linda Hirsch. I give her a lot of credit that she brought the Edgenuity here, and it's made a big difference.
Yeah, I noticed a new back parking lot with the new trees, the lighting.
Beautiful. Right. I didn't realize when Gary Persichetti said that back parking lot, the last time it was paved was in '74 when they put the building. That's a long time ago.
And it wasn't safe. That's when it was the new high school.
You're right, and there were craters and holes, and they did a beautiful job aesthetically. It looks beautiful. They've changed the sight lines where they used to have islands. You had to go drive. Now it's straight shots. It's safer. The lights out there at night. They have an irrigation system, so the islands aren't going to turn into dust mounds. There's going to be nice green grass, and I think they've done a beautiful job.
I think it's impressive when you bring people from other towns to go to an event, a soccer match.
It looks professional.
It looks exactly.
It looks nice.
It's lined up. The trees have to get a little more water.
Exactly. So Gary really thought ahead of time. So when they put in all these islands, he actually ran hoses in the event that sometime in the future we'll get irrigation. Well, we happen to get it a year later.
Wow.
So had he not done that, it wouldn't have happened because you'd have to cut open all the ground again.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really good. And he did the same thing for the lighting too. He wired it all and had it ready in the event that we can get lights, and now we do. So I thank the town for that.
Well, we have to wrap up.
Already?
Yeah, definitely.
Holy smoke. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to say thank you again for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. This is great. I enjoyed this immensely.
Did we talk about the new bus? Yeah,
the bus we're going to have, and I'm excited for that.